The fuck going on with y'all, man? And welcome to the Season 1 Druid starter build, Pulverize. And now you're probably wondering, why Pulverize? Why not Tornado or something else? Tornado is definitely a good Druid build, but I don't know about... I played it a bunch, okay? I didn't play the Werewolf Tornado, which it's really hard to play because you need to find the... a certain unique to play that build. Tempest Roar, I believe, is what it's called. I never found Tempest Roar, so Tornado didn't feel very good. It didn't feel very strong. It felt the weakest out of all of the builds that I played so far. Okay, but I tried Pulverize, and it didn't feel that bad. It felt pretty good. So because of that, I chose to make it the starter build for the Season 1. There might be other stronger ones, yes, true, but as far as my playstyle goes, I like smashing shit. Okay, I like doing a lot of damage, and Pulverize definitely does that. Okay, so here is the starter build. I also have a mid-game version after you hit level 50 and after you unlock World Tier 3. And then I have an end-game version where you find this unique Vasily's Prayer and can really, shake shit up and really have a really strong build going. Okay, so I'm going to explain all three of these. And if you're wondering why I'm doing a video like this, yes, my video quality is gonna take a hit, mainly because of two things. One, the season starts tomorrow. And the patch was yesterday, so I had to wait for the patch to actually make accurate, builds. And I want to play Season 1. I want to have a lot of time to play Season 1, and being married and have a full-time job, it's kind of hard to do that. So I gotta pump these videos out before tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So yes, there will be a quality loss in these videos. I'm sorry, but the quantity and the content will still be here, and maybe even better, because this website that I found is really good, d4builds.gg. It shows you the gear, shows you the aspects, it shows you the stats that you can put on them, it shows you what your skill bar is going to look like, it shows you what gems to put, it shows you the unique class mechanic that you have for that class. Your skill tree, you can order it too. The Paragon board, it even shows you what stats you'll have at the end for whatever you put on your character, and you can even put in some notes and a little YouTube build showcase. So it's a very good website that I found that I think I'm going to use from now on to show you guys some builds, just because it's so damn easy to see and to edit yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's a really nice way to provide someone a build template. And have them do whatever they want with it. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and explain the Pulverize Druid. So, here are the aspects that I would recommend using. The first thing you want to get is the Shockwave aspect. It makes Pulverize it adds a bunch of quality of life to the build. Without this, you'll be okay, but with this, you'll be more than okay. So make sure you get this as soon as possible. Unfortunately, this cannot be obtained through a dungeon. It has to be obtained on a random legendary piece of gear. Luckily, I found it was pretty common to find this aspect. So as soon as you find this, no matter what rolled, extract it, put it on a ring, and call it a day. All right. And of course, these other ones are kind of a combo. So Pulverize turns into an Earth skill through Ursine Horror, and because it is now an Earth skills slow enemies. So you can apply a huge slow, a nice crowd control, and that will open up other things like crowd control stats and crowd control passives, right? So this is a nice little combo here, and luckily these can be obtained through dungeons. So once you obtain Shockwave and then get these quickly, your builder will really go online, and you'll be just flying through the content, all right? And as far as the gems go, for weapons and armor, you're going to be putting rubies for overpower damage, because you will be doing, overpower damage is calculated by your life and your fortify, and you'll have a lot of life and a lot of fortify. So during the leveling process, overpower damage will amount to a lot. Okay. And of course, armor for leveling, we're going to be using life. And normally, for leveling and for endgame, you would want to socket in skulls for your jewelry. But in the Season 1, the Malignant mechanic, they will drop Caged Hearts, and these will be socketed in your jewelry instead of skulls. And these give really good buffs. I picked the ones that gave good resource generation, but or just found really useful for the build. But this is all up to you. Okay, I think Malignant Pact is going to be one that every class uses because it gives attack speed, it gives a chance to fully restore your primary resource, huge, and a good way to obtain a barrier. So I think Malignant Pact is going to be the best one just because it's very universal, just like the exploit glyph used in Paragon boards. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? These haven't really been tested. Again, I just picked the really good / cool ones, but this is totally up to you. Much like the rest of this build guide. So yeah, Caged Hearts for your jewelry, socket them in when you get them, as you're leveling, obviously. And the main skills that we're going to use is Earthen Bulwark. This is our main defensive skill. It gives us a barrier, makes us unstoppable, and gives us Fortify. Literally one of the best defensive skills in the game. Pop this when you're about to get into some shit, or when you're in some shit. You know what I'm saying? This should be Trample. Hey, look, Trample. Trample. So yeah, Trample is our movement skill, but honestly, I ended up using this skill to initiate because it charges forward, knocks back, and stuns mobs, including elites. So I use this to initiate and then start popping them off with some Pulverize, right? Also, Pulverize is kind of a mid-range long range build, so you want to knock them back away from you and then start hitting them with Pulverizes, right? And it also grants nice Fortify. Poison Creeper is basically our way to apply poison, but also there is a new aspect. There is a new legendary aspect, I believe, that makes Poison Creeper even stronger. So if you end up finding that aspect, I would go ahead and slap that on too. But we're only going to be using Poison Creeper for the leveling process, at least for now. But with that aspect, it might be even stronger than what I've chosen for the mid-game and end-game builds. The problem is I haven't tested those, so I can't know if it's reliable or not. But there is a Poison Creeper aspect, a new one, I believe. So if you end up finding that, go ahead and use it. Why not? But it's basically a way to apply poison to open up damage stats and other passive stats. You know what I'm saying? Grizzly Rage is our ultimate. This is a pretty common ultimate for all Druid builds. It gives you unstoppable, damage reduction, fortify. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. It makes you stronger, both offensively and defensively. You know what I'm saying? Here is our main basic skill. Now, at first, we actually use Storm Strike, and then we respec into Maul, which I'll show you in a bit. Thanks to this build calculator, but we use Maul, you know what I'm saying, to basically just generate spirit, give us fortify, and yeah, and then of course we get the modifier to increase the range of this skill, so we don't have to be in total melee range, right? And of course, here is Pulverize, our main damage skill. If you have the spirit, use this ability. And remember, this is a mid-range, long-range build, all right? This is not a melee build, so you want to be a little bit further. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this has a shit ton of damage, and along with some aspects like we chosen here, it really makes this build go online, like I said, right? And as far as the spirit boons go, for the deer, you're gonna go wariness. For the wolf, you're gonna pick energize, some more spirit. For the snake, you're gonna go masochist for some heal, and you're going to bond with the eagle and grab scythe talons for critical strike chance and swooping attacks for attack speed. Okay, and that is the main page. That is the gear and skills. Let's go to the skill tree, and here is what order to get the skills, when to respec them, and what to put in place. Right, this site is so useful that it tells you when I respect and when I removed points and when I added points. Very fucking useful. And of course this assumes you also have the 10 renowned skill points from getting renowned 3 in all regions, assuming you've had a character before season 1 or something like that. You know what I mean? So there is that. I'm not gonna go each and every single passive. I've already gone over the main skills, which I think is enough. Basically the passives all give offense, defense, spirit generation, fortify, barrier, movement speed, whatever the build needs, these passives give it, and I would not change them. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so there is that. And again, if you want to see this, if you want to look at anything that I'm looking at, just click the links down below. I have linked all 3 of these builds down below for you to see, for you to, guide along with, and for you to use while you're leveling in the new season of Diablo 4. Okay, link down below. Don't forget. And for the Paragon board, I just for the starter build, I just put in with the first page. I put in the first page where you'll be putting an exploit glyph, which is the easiest way to apply vulnerable, and of course give us a little bit of extra vulnerable damage. Okay, let's go to the notes. And as far as leveling from 1 to 50, I have actually made a leveling guide on that. The most optimized, very easy to follow, laid out blueprint from levels 1 to 50 that is there. So go check that out when you can. But I want to note that there is actually an outdated Nightmare Dungeon tier list in that guide, which is updated in these notes over here. So don't worry, bam, yeah. But yeah, I just want to let y'all know for that. And as far as weapons go, we're going to be focusing on 2-handed maces while leveling up. But really, realistically, just find any 2-handed weapon that has high DPS, and you should be just fine. And of course, once you've unlocked World Tier 3 and are level 50 and whatnot, then we're going to swap to the mid-game build. And here are the main differences for the mid-game build. Here are all the aspects that we use. Bing, bang, boom. No uniques. All aspects. Super strong when you combine all of them. And we changed the gems from rubies on both to emeralds on our weapon for vulnerable damage, and sapphire for damage reduction while fortified. And we're always going to be fortified, so this is definitely the gem that I want to use. And as far as our main skills, though, everything is the same except for debilitating roar. We change out poison, and we put in this instead to have us turn into a goddamn werebear. And it's also one of our best defensive skills because it gives us fortify, and it also heals us, gives us a nice heal per second as we're fighting mobs. So a nice thing to pop with Grizzly Rage to just become an absolute beast. A literal beast, a werebear. Okay, and the spirit boons, there is a slight change. For deer, we take wariness, reduce damage against elites, same thing. For eagle, swooping attacks, same thing. For wolf, we extend the duration of ultimate skills with calamity, and we bond with the snake to get masochist and calm before the storm. Again, another ultimate booster. Okay, and of course, for each piece of gear, not only do we have the aspects, we have, if you hover over them, you can see what stats, and the stats are also listed down here as well. So each gear has the aspect, where to get the aspect, and 4 stats that are the most important for that piece of gear. Super useful, super easy to follow. And I'm pretty sure I'll be using this method to show you guys builds from now on. It's just too easy to make and to see. You know what I'm saying? So there is all that just for you. I'm not going to go over each and every single skill. I mean, there's offense, defense, ranks to skills, damage reduction, all that good shit, movement speed, spirit cost reduction, all that good shit. It's here. Okay? Let's go to the skill tree. The skill tree is different from the starter build, so make sure you respec into this exactly. Okay, again, not going to explain it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just different stuff here and there, different passives, different active skills, and or one different active skill from trample to debilitating roar. That's really the only difference in some other passive skills. And as far as the Paragon board, here is the Paragon board. We only use 207 points because, again, this is the mid-game build without using any uniques. And then we'll go to the end-game build as soon as I'm done here. Okay, so let's talk about the Paragon board real quickly. We're going to start out with Exploit. Again, vulnerable. Easiest way to apply vulnerable. Some classes struggle with this, but the Exploit glyph makes it so we can apply vulnerable super easily and gives us nice vulnerable damage as well. Okay, additional. The second board is the Ancestral Guidance board, where we'll socket in the werebear glyph, which gives us increased damage and damage reduction in werebear form. Super useful. Then we go up, and we put in the Survival Instincts board, and we socket in the Undaunted glyph, which gives us increased damage while fortified and damage reduction while fortified, which we're going to always be fortified, so this is pretty much always up. And we also pick up the legendary node here for this board, where it says, while in werebear form, you deal 1% increased damage up to 50% for every 1% difference in current life percentage between you and the enemy. And because we get a lot of fucking life in this build, this will most likely be maxed out, especially most likely against little mobs, but sometimes elites too. You know, sometimes elites too. Okay. There's that. Oh, what did I do here? What did I do here? Oh, okay. Whoops. Next, we go to the left of this board, the fourth board. We go to the Constricting Tendrils board, and we socket in Spirit to get increased critical strike damage. And then critical strikes increase the damage of an enemy takes from you by times 2% for 20 seconds up to times 12. Super strong. All right. We don't get a legendary node here, though. And I believe the only legendary nodes that we're interested in is the one that we talked about, Survival Instincts. And the next one, our fifth and final board of the mid-game build, Earth and Devastation, where our Earth skills deal 30% increased damage to enemies affected by crowd control. And because we're always slowing via our aspects, and because one of our aspects also changes Pulverize into an Earth skill, this huge damage increase will always be active pretty much, right? And of course, the glyph that we socket in this fifth board is the Fang and Claw, which grants a huge bonus to all magic nodes within range, and then we just get the nice little critical strike magic nodes and the resistance and whatnot. Okay, very strong there. Okay. Let's go to the notes. Again, leveling guide 1 to 50. Check that out when you can. The weapons that we want to focus on are staffs because of their implicit that they give. Okay. So the highest DPS two-handed staff that you could find, put that on. Here's the glyph level priority to level 15. Exploit, Werebear, Undaunted, Spirit, Outmatch. These are in order of importance. Probably the amount of damage that it gives or the amount of utility that it gives. Here are some elixirs. Powerful offensive and defensive elixirs, and some incenses that you could use as well, you know, to make the build even stronger. And of course, here is the top 10 Nightmare Dungeon tier list for for anything that, because the best way to level up in this game is through Nightmare Dungeons, and because they are changing the Nightmare Dungeon list from pre-season to season 1, here is the new top 10 list. Which has only been tested for about a day or two, so this is not totally accurate, but just use this list for now. It's pretty solid on the best dungeons to run according to XP and according to the amount of time that it took to complete these dungeons, okay? And of course, the fastest way to gear up is through Hell Tides, which also gives you Forgotten Souls, and Forgotten Souls is the best material in the game. Forgotten Souls is what makes your gear go from meh to godlike, because you can fully upgrade them and you can enchant the stats to make it perfect, okay? And of course, once you've obtained the unique helm, Vasily's Prayer, and fix your spirit problems, we can now go to the endgame build. And here it is. Not much of a difference. It's just the helm. We take out the aspect in the other helm and we put in Vasily's. Your Earth skills are now also Werebear skills and fortify you. And so Pulverize gets turned into an Earth skill via via quicksand. We'll do it again. Retake. Pulverize gets turned into an Earth skill from Earth Sign Horror, and now it's an Earth skill. Our Earth skills are now turned into Werebear skills. So A equals B equals C. Pulverize turns into a Werebear skill, which makes it even fucking stronger. Which is why it's a build enabler, and which is why this is an end game build for this guide. Okay, and as far as the differences here, I believe there's no difference in the aspects. Yeah, the aspects are pretty much in the same space. It's just the helmet. Same boons, right? Slightly different skill tree because we're going to use Earth Spike instead of Maul because we have no problems regaining spirit. We are now fully a ranged build, all right? We want to fight from mid-range to long-range, and Maul is a melee skill. Earth Strike, we can cast from a distance, okay? So that's why we changed to Earth Strike there, and of course, Earth skills do turn into Werebear skills, so yeah, it makes that even stronger. So boom, boom, Earth Spike instead of Maul. That is the main difference for the main skills. And as far the Paragon board also changes as well. It pretty much we pretty much redo the whole Paragon board. Once you get this helm, you respec all your Paragon board, and let's talk about it. So the first board, I believe we took Exploit last time. We're now going to put in Spirit this time, which we talked about already. Second board, so Survival Instincts, we used Outmatch, which is a new glyph that we use, which gives us bonus to all rare nodes within range. And increased physical damage against non-elites and bosses. Huge there. All right. Nice boost to these rare nodes as well. Then we go left, Earth and Devastation board, Werebear node. Already talked about that. Then we go up, Inner Beast board, new board with the Undaunted node, the Fortified node. Then we go back to the third board, but instead we go left, and we pick up Ancestral Guidance. After spending 75 spirit, you deal 30% increased damage for 5 seconds. This will pretty much always be active because we'll be spamming Pulverize for the whole goddamn time, right? But we actually don't take any glyphs in this board because we just want because the Ancestral Guidance is so goddamn strong. We just want to use that. Then we go back to the fourth board, we go left, and the sixth board we get is Constricting Tendrils, and that's where we put in Exploit because there's a lot of dexterity nodes around there to fully maximize the vulnerable damage that we get from that glyph. All right, there's the full 225 pointer Paragon board, fully optimized just for you. Notes. Again, leveling guide 1 to 50. There it is. Weapons, still going to use staffs because fuck yeah. And we're going to be hold on. Do we use staffs? Let me double check. Yes, we're going to be using mainly staffs. All right, cool. And here's the glyph priority level to level 21. Slightly different from the. Oh, I think it's actually the same. Yeah, it's the same as the level 15 one. So no difference here, but yeah. Level these glyphs in this order of most importance. Same elixirs, same incentives, same nightmare dungeons to run. And again, the fastest way to get ancestral gear, or the fastest way to even farm your unique helm for this build, Vasily's Prayer, is to goddamn do the motherfucking Hell Tides. Okay? They're super useful, they're super easy, and they don't take that long to do. All right? And of course, I'll make sure to link some useful tools like the interactive map or the Helltide mystery chest tracker. All that will be linked down below, along with these 3 guides: the starter build, the mid-game build, and the end game build for the Pulverized Druid. Okay, and that's pretty much it. That's it, baby. That's it. Again, I'm sorry for the quality loss in these videos. It is what it is. I want to play Season 1 of Diablo 4, and that starts tomorrow, so I have to pump 5 of these videos out today. All right? And now I believe I have finished Rogue, Barbarian, Necromancer, and now Druid. I have one more left, that is Sorcerer, and that will be released just shortly. And then after that, I'm probably going to make a progression guide either today or sometime when I finish leveling my character, who knows, for Season 1, because I plan to play a Twisting Blades Rogue and just get that to 100 as fast as possible, max it out, make it super strong, do all the content, fight Lilith and whatnot, and do that, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's pretty much it. So there is the Druid guide from the starter to level 50 to 100, all that shit just for y'all. And again, everything that I've showed you guys and I've said and I've linked or that I've shown is linked down below in the description. All right, just in case I missed anything, just in case you miss anything, just in case you don't want to listen to my annoying ass voice, the links are down below. All right. Other than that, that's pretty much it. If you're interested in anything Diablo 4, I plan to make a bunch of videos for this game, bunch of content. So go and throw me a sub if you can. That would be really helpful. And of course, like and comment down below what build you're gonna play and all that good shit. Right. Other than that, I'm out of here. Y'all have a good one. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And remember to stay a while and listen. Peace out.